Have you ever wondered what secrets lay hidden in the dark, winding corridors of the catacombs? Now let's delve into a tale that might make your skin crawl, a tale of a funeral like no other. In the heart of an ancient city, beneath the cobblestone streets and bustling life above, lies a labyrinth of catacombs, their secrets whispered only to the dead. The story starts with a funeral procession disappearing into this underworld, a troop of mourners cloaked in black, their hearts heavy with grief. As they descended into the catacombs, the world above seemed to fade away, replaced by the chilling silence of the crypts. The only sounds were the mournful echo of their footsteps and the soft whimper of their sorrow. The air grew colder, the shadows longer. The feeling of anticipation hung heavy, like a shroud. The funeral was for a man known only as the Recluse, a figure shrouded in mystery and rumors. His death was as unusual as his life. He left behind no family, no friends, just a cryptic will that instructed his body be laid to rest in these catacombs. The attendees of his funeral were an odd mix: curious townsfolk, distant relatives, and strangers drawn by the peculiarity of it all. As the procession moved deeper into the catacombs, the eerie serenity of the place seemed to twist into something more sinister. The flickering candlelight played tricks on the eyes, casting monstrous shadows on the ancient walls. The mourners, once a loud procession, were now silent, each lost in their thoughts, their fears. The recluse's final resting place was a crypt, far from the entrance, buried deep in the heart of the catacombs. As the last mourner stepped into the crypt, something inexplicable happened. The heavy stone door of the crypt, with a mind of its own, began to move. With a final, echoing thud, the door closed, sealing them all inside. And as the last mourner stepped inside, the crypt door mysteriously locked itself from the inside. Hours passed, then days. The catacombs remained silent, a tomb within a tomb. The townsfolk, initially unperturbed, began to harbor growing unease. The absence of the funeral attendees, not a soul to emerge from the crypt's moss-laden entrance since the day of the service, was a chilling mystery that hung heavy in the air. Now picture this. The town square, once a vibrant hub of laughter and camaraderie, lay eerily quiet, the usual humdrum replaced by hushed whispers. The air, thick with the sense of dread, was a stark contrast to the usually jovial atmosphere. The townsfolk, their faces etched with concern, gathered in huddled groups, casting anxious glances at the ominous entrance to the catacombs. The decision was made to investigate. A group of brave hearts, armed with nothing but sheer determination and a flickering lantern, approached the crypt door. The ancient wood, unyielding and cold to the touch, bore the weight of centuries of secrets. They pushed, they pulled, they hammered and hollered, but the door stood steadfast, like a sentinel guarding the unknown. Frustration gave way to fear. The crypt's stubborn silence only amplified the mystery, sending shivers down their spines. The whispers grew louder, the speculation wilder. Old tales of vengeful spirits and cursed crypts, once dismissed as mere folklore, now seemed frighteningly plausible. The eerie silence of the catacombs was a chilling reminder of the grim situation. The crypt, a labyrinth of winding tunnels and ancient tombs, had become a prison. The funeral attendees, ordinary townsfolk like you and I, had ventured into the depths and disappeared, swallowed whole by the catacombs. As the sun set, casting long, grotesque shadows that danced on the crypt's entrance, an unsettling truth settled in. The crypt was locked from the inside. The realization was a cold slap in the face, a grim reminder of the dire situation. The fear was palpable, the mystery deeper than ever. The catacombs had swallowed the funeral attendees, leaving no trace behind. With the town in panic, desperate measures were taken to uncover the truth. A shroud of fear had settled over the town, its once quiet and peaceful atmosphere now replaced with a chilling sense of dread. The local authorities, unaccustomed to such a baffling mystery, sought the help of more experienced investigators from neighboring regions. As the investigation progressed, a series of strange clues began to emerge. The crypt door, despite being locked from the inside, showed no signs of forced entry. The catacombs, typically filled with an eerie silence, echoed with strange, unidentifiable sounds that sent shivers down the spine of even the most seasoned investigator. Theories started to form, some rational and others bordering on the supernatural. Some speculated that the attendees were victims of a horrific crime, while others whispered of ancient curses and malevolent spirits. The town's oldest resident, a woman of over 90 years, recalled an old legend about a vengeful phantom said to haunt the catacombs. The fear and uncertainty that gripped the town were tangible. Parents held their children a little closer, and the once bustling streets grew quiet as dusk fell. Even the bravest souls dared not venture out after dark, their imaginations filled with chilling images of what might be lurking in the shadows. The investigators worked tirelessly, combing through every inch of the catacombs and interviewing each townsperson they could. They pored over old records and documents, hoping to find some historical precedent or forgotten tale that could shed light on the mystery. However, despite their best efforts and the mounting pressure from the town, the investigation seemed to be leading them down a rabbit hole of ever-increasing complexity. Each new clue only deepened the mystery, and each theory seemed less likely than the last. The crypt remained silent, its secrets locked away behind the impenetrable door. Despite their best efforts, the investigators were left with more questions than answers. As the sun set, casting long shadows across the town, a chilling realization dawned. The truth was more disturbing than any of the theories that had been floating around. The investigation had unearthed findings that were not just unsettling, but downright terrifying. The catacombs, those ancient labyrinths of stone and silence, had a story to tell, a story that was written in fear and despair. The investigators had found signs that the crypt door had been locked from the inside. But why? Why would the mourners lock themselves in? The answer was as horrifying as it was baffling. A theory emerged, one that was whispered in hushed tones and met with wide-eyed disbelief. Could it be that the mourners, those grief-stricken individuals, had chosen to join the deceased in their eternal rest? But if so, why were there no bodies? Where had they all gone? The fear spread through the town like a winter chill, seeping into every home, every heart. The catacombs, once a place of quiet reflection and remembrance, had become a symbol of unspeakable horror. Parents held their children a little closer, elderly folks whispered prayers under their breath, and even the bravest souls felt a knot of dread in their stomachs. Theories swirled like leaves in the wind, each one more unsettling than the last. Some spoke of supernatural forces, of vengeful spirits and ancient curses. Others suggested a more earthly horror, a deranged individual among the mourners, perhaps, or a deadly gas leak in the catacombs. But the truth, the terrible truth, was that no one knew for certain. The investigators worked tirelessly, combing through every inch of the catacombs, but the answers remained as elusive as the missing mourners. The unsettling truth was that the catacombs had become a tomb, not just for the deceased, but for those who had come to pay their respects. The catacombs held a secret, a terrifying truth that sent shivers down the spine of every townsperson. To this day, the catacombs stand as a grim reminder of the tragic event. They sit, unyielding and silent beneath the town, a chilling monument to the day the funeral attendees disappeared without a trace. The stone crypt door, once a symbol of sanctuary for the departed, now a haunting emblem of a mystery that has swallowed an entire town's peace. The catacombs, once a place of solemn respect, have taken on a far more sinister reputation. Their shadows seem to stretch longer, their silence more profound. The townsfolk avoid the area, their eyes darting nervously toward the crypt whenever they pass by. Their whispers carry tales of strange noises, of flickering lights, of eerie cold gusts sweeping out from the crypt's entrance, as if the very breath of the disappeared were still lingering there. The unanswered questions are endless. What happened to the mourners who entered the crypt that day? Why did the crypt door lock from the inside? Was it a desperate attempt to keep something out, or to trap something within? And perhaps the most chilling question of all, what if whatever caused this tragedy is still in there? Despite numerous investigations, the answers remain as elusive as the mourners themselves. The crypt door has resisted all attempts to open it. It stands as impenetrable as the mystery itself, a barrier between the living and the unknown. The town lives in the shadow of this open-ended mystery. It has become a part of their lives, a chilling narrative woven into their daily existence. They carry on, their hearts heavy with the loss, their minds plagued with the unanswered questions. And so the catacombs continue to stand, a chilling testament to a mystery that refuses to be solved. A silent guardian of the disappeared, their secrets buried deep within its cold stone walls. What really happened inside the catacombs? The door remains locked, the mourners never came out, and the mystery, well, that continues to haunt us all. Y'all, we're wrapping up here, but don't you go anywhere just yet. Show some love, hit that like button. Fancy more content like this? Go on, subscribe and let that bell icon ring so you won't miss a beat. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, sharing is caring. Until next time, stay tuned.